Hello there, Erin here. Welcome. I have a double page scrapbook layout for you today, and I am going to use a Wildflower Birthday collection to document my 46th birthday, which was very recent. That's my youngest son, Clayton. He had surprised me with a bouquet of roses, and we had some festive balloons, which is perfect because there's a lot of gold foiling in this paper here. Funny story about those balloons. I'll tell you in just a bit. It was a casual affair. I celebrated just with my favorite people, my husband, my boys, and Hayden's girlfriend Desiree there. Mike made us a yummy dinner and delicious homemade ice cream. But you can see we're all wearing blue. There's the pink roses with the green and then again the gold foiling. So I think this is going to work quite well. Now I have a lot of paper here because I bought both the paper pack with all of the punch out shapes and I got the workshop, the scrapbooking workshop. So Stampin Up offers a workshop for this one, and these are the layouts, which are quite awesome. I love that one, and I've already put together this layout. Of course, I kind of varied it, did my own thing, but I'm looking at this one here today, and I like the cardstock background and the paper strips, so that's going to be my jumping off point. My photos are different. I'm going to embellish differently. There are balloons. There's these balloons from the punch outs, and I think it'll be fun because we've got the balloons in the photos. And even though we didn't have cake, I still want to, it's a birthday, so you can still bring in the birthday cake icons and it works quite nicely. So the paper pack has a lot of gold foiling in it, as to where the scrapbooking workshop will be similar, but you don't have the gold foiling. So you can see the difference. There's some other differences in the paper collections, and you can check those out online if you didn't catch my first video where I showed you, what was what. This is fun. This is a cut apart sheet, and there were two of these. So one I went ahead and cut apart, and this one, I'm not sure if I'll use that or not. But let me go ahead and grab my Versamats. As I mentioned, this is going to be a double page layout. Now in the example layout or the inspiration layout from the workshop, they have a pink cardstock background. That's a bit too much pink for me. I am going to use this cardstock, which is Glacier from Close to My Heart. I'm trying to use up my cardstock, and this is very close to Stampin' Up's Pool Party, so if you have that color it would work well also. I am thinking for my photos of putting these two like this, and then I have two horizontal, and I'll probably do something like that, and that'll give me a big spot for journaling and embellishing and all of that good stuff. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. And if you look at the inspiration layout, they have two stacked horizontals, and then there's our square. So mine are portrait orientation, but we kind of have a similar layout going on, except I'm going to put my title on the left hand side. I'm bringing this in one more time. Now you can see they have several strips going across. I think there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 different strips. I am just taking that idea and I'm going to do something different. I really want to use this cake paper because I think it's so pretty, and these were already cut into and left over. So they are 4 inches by 12. And then I don't get to use pinks a whole lot, so I thought, you know what? Now is a good opportunity, especially with these beautiful pink roses in here. So maybe this one, and we might pull it in a little bit and kind of vary the width of those rather than have them go all the way across. And maybe I could do a dovetail on the end and see what that looks like. So I know I want to bring up my cake papers upside down. That would be bad. We don't want upside down cake. My cake paper brings in the color blue, and as I mentioned earlier, we're all wearing blue jeans, so I think I want to mat these on blue cardstock. We'll see how this looks here. They already are printed with a white border, so this will be a double mat, but I really like how that dark background makes those stand out, so I'll go ahead and do a mat for the rest of them. Now I do like Celebrate for a title, but I don't know if I want to introduce the green color per se. There's also the Wildflower Celebration stamp set, which has great titles for birthday layouts and other layouts. And I could always stamp out Celebrate in a different color, so I might do that. But I'm thinking of maybe putting my, I always like to kind of anchor my photos, give them something to rest on. And I know I want to bring in the balloons, maybe overlapping the photos, and then we can kind of fill in the corner with something. But let's see, what if we bring in a little bit more of the blue paper? I have this paper here with all these fun party polka dots, and this might be nice because the darkness gives it some visual weight. So what if we cut a strip of that? I'm not sure I want to cut into that paper, so I'm going to grab some cardstock first. Even if I end up using that pattern paper, I can always use this cardstock for something else, but this will allow me to see what that might look like. And sometimes you don't want a bunch of patterns bumped up next to each other. A little cardstock in between can be a good thing. Let's try that title again. Yeah, I just am not feeling the green on this one. I know we have green in the balloon, and I'm thinking of putting another balloon cluster over here just because I think they're really fun. And the flowers I can always use for a non-birthday layout. There's a lot of florals in this collection, so you could definitely go a different direction other than birthdays, although the flowers would be fun too. And then there's tons of cakes, lots of different cakes. This one's a punch out from the scrapbooking workshop, so it's pretty big. And let's try this one here. I did somewhat remove the adhesive from the back of this with my anti-static powder tool so that I could move it around. And let me try some other cakes. Looking at some of the other cake options, I also came across this, and I think I want to include that too. But these are punch outs, so you have some without the candles, which again would be great for other occasions, or maybe even like a bridal shower, Mother's Day, something like that. I think I want to use a cake with candles. So there's also one on the sticker sheet that's nice and big, but no candles. So since this is a birthday, let's go with the candles. And I wanted to show you there's also one here on the pocket card. So you could fussy cut that out, or you could just even include the card over there. Let's see. Again, I'm thinking about bringing in, this has that gold foiling too, and I want to play that up because we have it in the photos there. And then I can always kind of fill this in with some flowers around the base. And then this guy's super cute. We have this nice big open spot here, so you could do that. It's a little too crowded over in this corner. So yeah, I think that's a good spot for that for now. I'm wondering if this blue is going to look better on the bottom of the layout because it is really a heavy piece because it's such a dark color. So what if we bumped everything up and just move this to the bottom and see if that is a better balance? I do like that dark blue color more towards the bottom of the layout, but I also want to try some white cardstock behind my photos. What if we just slide this in, allowing that glacier color to be on the top and bottom? We could even move these in and create more of a frame style layout. And you know what? I like that pop of white. I really do. I'm going to go for it, and I think I'll repeat it all the way across so we're symmetrical. Let me go ahead and cut that down. All of these paper strips are going to be 11.5 inches wide. I'll go ahead and give you the layers of each piece for the area that is showing because I'm overlapping them just a bit. You can see I repeated that on the right-hand side. Now we're going to cut these flush. So my white piece at the top is 4 inches, and then the pink gingham is 3 inches. The cake paper is 2.5, and the blue is 1.5. Again, all by 11.5 inches wide. Let's bring our photos back in, and then our fun little punch out shapes. I love punch outs. They just make things come together so quick and easily. And our balloons back over here. And then we have our cute little cake, birthday cake with the candles. Do I want it there? There? Let me bring my title back in. And you know what? Let's maybe offset these photos. What if we push that one up to the same plane as the right-hand side and made a little nook here for the title? I do kind of like that. I think I like that better. I'm looking for more embellishments, and we have this little cake. There's tons of tags from the cutout sheet that we could use for layering bits. And then I have these pocket cards for possibly journaling. I don't know if I want the balloons there because I already had the other 2 balloon clusters. We could do something like that and write our journaling going down the card. Maybe a couple tags. When you have all of these bits and pieces already cut, ready to use, it's nice to just try them out on the layout and see which one looks the best to you. So what if we put this one over here to kind of spotlight this cake? Again, I am going to put some flowers around the base of it, so that would kind of finish off that rough, transition of the tag and the cake. We also have a cupcake here. I have this punch out from the workshop that has journaling lines already on it. I went ahead and grabbed a bunch of the small florals. We do have big clusters, but it's a bit too large for what I'm wanting. So let's kind of try, this is the biggest of the smaller clusters, and then we can add a few of the smaller ones on top. That's already looking so much better. Just making that tag and that cake make sense. Let's bump this down a little bit here. Maybe slide that one down. I keep going back and forth on my title. I do like it at the bottom now that I've changed everything around, but I think I'm going to keep it there and maybe just extend these flowers out just a bit. They're so fun and pretty, and we'll add some leaves to add some greenery to this side here. Since I have flowers over here, I want to repeat those on the right-hand side. Now we have room for this big cluster, but I really want to use the cake, so I think the smaller florals work better. Let's go ahead and stamp out the word celebrate using the coordinating stamp set. I have Pretty in Pink ink, which is a coordinating color, and then the word celebrate, which is similar to the sticker, but a little bit different font. And just for fun, let's use Melon Mambo to create a shadow. Well, actually, the Pretty in Pink is the shadow layer. This will be the front layer. And you know what? I should have stamped this first because it's hard to see that light pink behind this. Let's just give it a go and see how it works. Nope, I don't like it. You probably can't see that, but I can kind of see through that. Let's start over, and I'm going to wipe this off. We're going to stamp in the Melon Mambo first. Again, it's darker, I can see it, and then I can create that shadow or offset, if you will, with the Pretty in Pink. So I want to clean off any extra ink so we don't transfer it to the lighter ink pad. And now what I'm doing is I'm stamping it just slightly above and to the left to create that drop shadow. There's not a coordinating die for this word, so I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and fussy cut that off camera. So it's probably not really obvious for you on video, but I can appreciate that shadow layer in person, and I love it. Let's swap out the green for the pink, and I do like that better. I thought about my journaling and I had more to say than originally anticipated, so I did type that up on my computer. I'm going to put a dovetail in the bottom of this. This is printed right on white cardstock, and I wanted to document, first of all, just, you know, the day and all of the details surrounding it, but it was really funny with the balloons because we live at a higher elevation, and as they were coming up the hill, I'm going to put a little bit of glacier under here just to kind of create that layered look. One of the balloons popped coming up the hill. It just completely pow in the car. So my other son went by the grocery store. I'm going to stamp birthday memories from that same stamp to create a little embellishment. But my other son went and picked up the replacement balloons, and they didn't pop, but they weren't faring so well. I guess these are just particularly sensitive to the elevation. And the number 4 was losing air quick. So my son's like, quick, let's get a photo before this thing is completely deflated. I cut out birthday memories with my favorite Spotlight on Nature dies. And I'm going to work this into my little cluster here. If you look closely at the photo, I'm actually squeezing the bottom of the number 4 to inflate it more because it was already, and I'm holding it, like it's lost enough air to where it doesn't really want to float. It's starting to sink. So we were cracking up, and my son, Clayton, he's my photo taker. He does a good job, but he was like the one like, oh, we got to get this photo ASAP. I probably should add this photo in a flip flap, but that is the state of the balloon not long after our little photo op here. Both of my boys are pretty funny, and I'm really surprised they didn't seize the opportunity to liken the saggy, deflated balloons to my aging. So they missed an opportunity there. There is this beautiful woven golden ribbon with this collection, and I have yet to use it. So I am making a point to add it to the layout. If you take a crochet hook and put it through your tag, pull it through, hook your ribbon, and then pull it back through, it makes it super easy to loop these around a tag top. I learned that little tip from Janice, and just one of those handy little things here. So that looks good. I'm going to trim those down just a bit. They're a bit long, hanging off the top of the tag there. I've already created several layouts with this collection and kept forgetting about the ribbons, so finally I put it up on my desk, out of the drawer, so that I would see it and be reminded. Bringing back in the workshop layout, you can see we started with those strips going across the bottom half of the layout and ended up with something pretty different, but I love it, and it's so fun to take a project and then completely make it your own. And those balloons are so cute. Really love the balloons and the tassels. Fun, fun, fun. My oldest son, Hayden, his go-to pose is thumbs up in the photos, so that cracks me up to see that. And of course, all of the supplies are listed in the description box below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you are looking for more scrapbooking inspiration, YouTube thinks that you will enjoy this video right here. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon here on YouTube.